The button says withdraw and about 1 million people are pressing it at once. Every balance is still on screen to the penny. The money behind the balances is mostly gone. This is FTX, the second biggest crypto exchange on Earth, 5 days from a $32 billion valuation to bankruptcy court. Wednesday, a leaked balance sheet. Sunday, a rival announces he is selling. Monday, the owner tweets, FTX is fine. Assets are fine. Tuesday, withdrawals freeze. Friday, everything files. We went looking for what the week actually did, and the answer starts 3 years earlier. In the exchange's own code, in 2019, there is an exception. One account is allowed to go below zero. And by its own private numbers, the company spent its last 5 months broke. Still taking deposits to the last day. Here is the machine. It has 2 parts. The public part is FTX, founded in 2019. An exchange. You wire in money, you trade coins, the app shows your balance. It is licensed in the Bahamas. It is audited, it puts its name on an NBA arena for $135 million and buys a Super Bowl ad with Larry David. Tom Brady signs on as an ambassador. Congress invites the founder to explain how crypto should be regulated, and he explains it to them. The private part is Alameda Research, a trading firm founded 2 years earlier. It makes leveraged bets with borrowed money, and it belongs, about 90% of it, to the same man. Sam Bankman-Fried. 30 years old, drives a Corolla, sleeps on a beanbag, and has pledged to give essentially all of it away. By early 2022, Forbes prices him around $26 billion, and investors price the exchange at 32. From the first year, the 2 parts are plumbed together. Customer wires meant for the exchange land in a bank account controlled by the trading firm. And inside the exchange's code, the co-founder who wrote it would later testify, sits that exception. Alameda's account may go negative. The ceiling on how far? $65 billion. What is a fortune like that made of? Largely a token called FTT. FTX invented it at launch. A coin the exchange itself issues, entitling holders to a discount on trading fees. The exchange controls the supply. Alameda acquired an enormous pile of it early, at pennies. The market price, set by a thin trickle of real trading, climbs to about $80. Multiply the pile by the price, and billions appear on Alameda's books, and those billions then stand as collateral for loans of real dollars. We should slow down here, because this is the load-bearing sentence of the whole story. The collateral for the borrowing was an asset that the borrower's own exchange issued and priced. The fortune was denominated in itself. This channel has met that machine before. John Law printed the money that bought his own shares. Madoff printed the statements. The instrument gets faster every century, and it is the same instrument. Now the whole and the month it stopped being theoretical. In May of 2022, the crypto market breaks. A coin that promised it could never fall to zero falls to zero. A major fund follows it down, and lenders across the industry start calling in loans. Alameda has borrowed billions, and its lenders want the money back now. Alameda's assets are a mountain of tokens that can only be sold by collapsing their own price. So the loans get repaid from the one pool of real money in the building. Customer deposits through the account that is allowed to go below zero. Caroline Ellison, who ran Alameda, would testify under oath that Bankman-Fried directed it, and that by June the gap between what customers were owed and what actually existed was about $8 billion. For one nervous lender, she prepared 7 versions of the same balance sheet and sent the version that hid the borrowing. By that summer, the inner circle knew the number. The customers watched their balances to the penny on the Calm app. We cannot tell you when the very first customer dollar went out that door, Prosecutors said the lying ran from the beginning. The code's exception is dated 2019. The first dollar through it has only ever been guessed at, and we looked. The honest answer is a range, and the range is years wide. What we can tell you is that through all 5 of those months, the company was still taking deposits. So run the week again, with the machine on the table. Wednesday, November 2nd. A reporter named Ian Allison publishes a leaked Alameda balance sheet on CoinDesk. $14.6 billion of assets, and the single biggest line is FTT. The market can suddenly read what you already know. The fortune backing everything is the exchange's own printing. Sunday the 6th. Changpeng Zhao, who runs the rival exchange Binance and holds $500 million of FTT from an old deal, announces he is selling all of it. A legal trade announced in public. That Sunday alone, customers request about $5 billion back. Monday the 7th, Bankman-Fried tweets, FTX is fine. Assets are fine. He deletes it later, and a jury would eventually hear it read back. The assets were fine in exactly one denomination, the one FTX printed. Tuesday, the real dollars run out, and withdrawals freeze. Friday the 11th, FTX, Alameda, and about 130 affiliated companies file for bankruptcy. Across 2 days that week, the Bloomberg Index cut its estimate of the founder's fortune by 94%, the largest one-day collapse it had ever recorded. The man appointed to run the wreckage, John Ray, had liquidated Enron. He wrote to the court, "Never in my career have I seen such a complete failure of corporate controls. In 40 years, never." The verdict took a year, almost to the day. The balance sheet was published on November 2nd, 2022. The jury convicted him on November 2nd, 2023. We checked those dates twice because they read like a screenwriter's touch. 7 counts, all guilty, after 4.5 hours. 25 years, $11 billion ordered forfeited, and in June of 2026, the appeals court upheld all of it. Then came the ending no other fraud in this catalogue has. The money came back. The estate spent 3 years clawing in everything the fortune had touched. We should say plainly because this channel is made with Anthropic's models. Among the best assets it found was a $500 million stake in Anthropic, the AI company, which sold for about $1.3 billion, and the profit went to the repayments. By this July, 5 distributions. Roughly $10 billion returned. Customers repaid 119% of their claims. The headlines say, paid back in full with interest. So we did the arithmetic for one customer. 1 Bitcoin sitting on FTX on bankruptcy day was frozen into a claim of $16,871. Pay that claim in full, add the interest, and about $20,000 comes back. While the claim was being processed, Bitcoin crossed 100,000. Paid back in full, that customer could afford 1/5 of the coin they started with. The claims were priced on the worst day. The recovery in the coin's price stayed with the estate's math. A customer who had deposited dollars was genuinely made whole, and a customer who had deposited coins is still writing furious letters to the judge, and both of them are reading the same statement. The rise was priced in his token. The fall was priced in their dollars. Choosing the denomination both times was the whole game. If you want the rest of these, the rise and the fall of the world's greatest fortunes, subscribe.